Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place.
Hello, viewers. It is a wonderful Sunday, and I know it's been a while. We've been away.
It's been a while.
It's been a while,
Yes.
right?
It's been a long time. We've missed you, iScreemers, and I've missed you, Limes. I mean, it really does seem like 28 years later since we've done anything.
Ooh.
I've been crushed, man. I've missed you.
That was a nice little segue there, wasn't it? 28 years later. But yeah. Talk to me, Jay. What's been going on with you lately? Anyway, as life.
Well, with so much going on, I mean, I don't even know what I've been doing this summer, let alone knowing what I did last summer. I just can't answer that. I don't know.
And another beautiful segue.
Bada boom. Okay, I had to throw those into. I had to throw another one in. I'm sorry. I just missed you, and I've missed our iScreemers so much. I'm just getting goofy. I'm getting punchy. What do you expect, right?
I missed you too, man. I get it. I missed you too. But man, what a summer it's been for movies. Let's do a quick. Okay, so we've had what? So 28 years later, yes. Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic Park Rebirth. Is there anything I'm kind of forgetting there? That anything springs to mind that I didn't mention? Did you get out and see Superman yet? Have you seen it yet?
No, but I heard the introduction of his dog Crypto really added a lot of currency to the movie.
Oh God. I'm about 2 seconds. I'm about 2 seconds from pulling the plug on you, man. Like seriously, right? That was bad. That was a bad.
I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done. That's all I have.
Hey, but you know what though? Talking about Crypto, actually, because I did get out and see it, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought Coronel was awesome. He was a great Superman. And one of the things I loved there was I loved the fact nobody's ever tackled Crypto before. And at first I was like, is this is either going to be really, is either going to be phenomenal or it's going to be really cheesy. And it was phenomenal. Yeah. I loved it. Like, it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
I am meaning to go see it, and I've heard some great things about it, even from my son Jeremy, who's a big fan. And we were talking, and I'm like, I go, Crypto? Really? Why would they introduce Crypto the dog? Because again, I'm a few years older than you, but I remember the Super Friends and how just cheesy and campy it was. But when we were kids, we're like, oh, Super Friends, oh, so cool. And Crypto, in the cartoon, we're just like, But he explained to me that Crypto actually plays an incredibly integral part to the whole storyline of the Kryptonians, and actually is a very powerful character. So I was like, okay, well then, crap. Then it might be a incredible addition to the movie, and it also goes to speak to Clark's humanity, since obviously he came to Earth first and grew up as within a very close knit family dynamic in middle America, simple life, so on and so forth. So it adds further to his humanity for his development.
Yeah, they do a beautiful job of that. No. I thought it was fantastic. I thought Fantastic Four was fantastic. I even liked Jurassic Park, and I got to be honest, that was a franchise I'm kind of over it, to be honest with you. But I gotta say, my youngest son wanted to see the latest one, so I was like, okay, you can't turn down your little one, right? And I actually was very surprised. I really enjoyed it. But we've got some really important stuff to talk about here, because out of the gate we've got two really big anniversaries in August. Two big, right?
Yes.
So the first one, let's talk about the first one. The 50th anniversary of Steven Spielberg's Jaws. What a phenomenal film. Are you a Jaws fan, Jay?
Oh yeah. Dun, Dun it, dun it, dun it,
Dun,
dun it,
dun, 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 dun,
dun it,
dun,
dun
dun,
it,
dun,
dun
dun,
it,
dun.
dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, dun
Dun, dun, dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for you. Do you
Yes.
remember, because I remember this vividly. Do you remember the first time you saw Jaws? Do you remember where you saw it, where you were?
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me.
We saw it in one of the inside theaters. Uh, I was 8 years old, and you know, I think my dad, or it was my brothers, that we went to go see it with. You know, and it was on the big screen. We used to see movies in the drive-in way back in the day when I
Oh
lived in
yeah.
Carson, Los Angeles, back in the '70s.
Hmm.
But we saw it in one of the Metroplex theaters, and it was a phenomenal movie. It
Hmm.
really was. I enjoyed it immensely, and living in Los Angeles back in that time, Universal Studios, the
Right. Boom.
tour,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
to see the big jaws come out, when you're doing a little trolley through the studio and stuff like that. So that was awesome. But even as a kid growing up and going into the ocean and enjoying the beach. I mean, I'm a beach baby, man.
Right. Right.
We're here on the coastline, Southern California. I
100%.
wasn't afraid to go in the water.
It's lovely to think back to those things. I remember the first time I saw it. I
Mm-hmm.
was now I didn't see it on its initial release because I'm a little bit younger than you, right? I was when Jaws
Yeah.
came out, 1975. I was in four. I actually didn't
Mm-hmm.
see it till about I want to say 79, and I had
Oh.
I had a friend. His
Uh-huh.
name was Rafi, and I don't know now. I don't know what they were loaded. They were absolutely loaded. These guys had, and
Yeah.
this is where I'm going with this. These guys had
Yeah. Yeah.
they had a Laserdisc player back when it was
Oh
something,
yeah.
right? Something to have a
Yeah. Yeah.
Laserdisc player. And I don't really know what his dad did, but I think he was some sort of a Pakistan diplomat or something, because he had pictures all around the house of like him shaking hands with presidents and prime ministers and things like that. But I remember Rafi saying to me, "Oh, we got this movie Jaws. Come over and watch Jaws." And good
Yeah.
God, like I I've always been a fan of monster movies, but when
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
watch
Oh
it,
yeah.
when you watch something like Creature from the Black Lagoon or King Kong, or there's an
Yeah.
element of the fantastic that you like, deep down, okay, this can't happen. There's no, but this was different because it was dealing with something
Yes.
that exists and something that and wow, it
Yeah.
just fucking freaked me out, man. I loved it. I loved it. You know, and we gotta,
Yeah.
it's important to acknowledge the 50th anniversary, and the big part of that I would say is, George really is, and I know probably plenty of people have said this plenty of times, but it's got to be said again. It's a fact. Jaws is really the granddad, the grandparent of the summer blockbuster. That is where
Oh yeah.
it started. The what we
Oh
see
yeah.
now, like right, the summer tentpole movies. Jaws was the first. Jaws was the one that really kicked that off. It was the first massive blockbuster smash hit summer movie that people were like lining up around the block to see, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And led
Well,
into,
that and The Exorcist. The Exorcist was another blockbuster
mhm.
that people lined up for. I remember that. Uh, Not so much The Omen, but definitely The Exorcist.
And listen, I get where you're coming from. I would say the big difference though is, and this is why I would say is The Exorcist is very. I mean, my God, that was an X-rated film. It's very. You only can see in that if you were at I mean, anyone that was letting their kids watch that needs their brains tested. But Jaws was more like that. It was a real the audience, the age limit of the
Yes.
audience was wide open, and
Hmm.
it opened the door to like the things like the Star Wars and the Close Encounters
Oh
of
yeah,
the Third Kind, and
totally.
the things that
Yes, yes.
your mom and dad would you don't go to see together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
couldn't really see myself sitting in a multiplex with my mom and dad watching The Exorcist. Yeah. You know where I'm
You'd be
coming
going
from?
like this.
Yeah. Power of Christ compels you. Oh, that was blasphemous. That
You know,
shouldn't be.
throwing up some popcorn, and your mom and dad are going, "Oh, we shouldn't have taken him to this movie."
Pea soup popcorn. Yeah. So, what would there's Jaws. I don't know about you, but Jaws is. I have certain movies that if they come on the TV,
Mm-hmm.
and I see it playing and I start watching it, I'm done. I'm locked in. I can't. I have to sit there to the end. Shawshank is one.
Oh God, yes. God,
Right.
yes.
This one will kill you. And listen, I admit it. It's a strange one, but
Uh-huh.
the Tower in Inferno.
Oh my God.
Dude, if the Tower in Inferno comes on, I can't
Oh
turn it
yeah.
off. I fucking love it.
Yeah. The 70s disaster movie. You gotta
Right.
love them.
Right.
You got it. Yeah.
But Jaws is another one of those. It's Jaws. Like I actually just watched it again the other night. And what would you say are some of your favorite things about that particular movie?
The acting, of course, of all the characters. And please forgive me, my brain is farting right now, but obviously Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and the
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw. Okay, we're gonna have to edit that out. No, you'll leave it in just to embarrass me. But Robert Shaw, how can I forget Robert Shaw? Robert Shaw was my favorite fucking character. And I can't believe I spaced on his name. But Robert Shaw, for me, besides Jaws himself, stole the fucking show. He was awesome. I loved him. 100%. I loved him.
100%.
But let me ask you this. Jaws standalone was a beautiful movie.
Mm-hmm.
Did we really need the fucking sequels? Did we?
No, not at all.
Did we need the sequels?
No. And they as far as I'm concerned, and obviously you are, because you're saying that, they didn't work. It needed to, sometimes a movie just needs to be a beautiful one and done. But I want to go back to Robert Shaw for a minute, because you brought Robert Shaw up. Yes. He is. I mean, listen, and let's be clear. There's no slackers in the cast, right? Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, they're all phenomenal. But Robert Shaw, couple of things. One of the best introductions to a character in movie history, where they're having the talk about catching the shark, and everybody in the town hall is like, they're all arguing, like bantering, because there's money on the line, and suddenly the nails down the chalkboard, right? And everyone just stops, and the camera turns around, and there's this dude, and you just, from that moment, you're, I gotta see who this fucker is. I need to learn about this guy, and man. But the other thing, and I mean, Robert Shaw, like, oh my God, the speech about the Indianapolis, I get goosebumps every time I watch that scene when they're comparing the scars. And Hooper says about that, because he's got a tattoo that's been erased, right? They go, well, what's that one? That was the USS Indianapolis, Mr. Hooper. And he goes into that whole thing about that. Do you know what? I gotta say, actually, and this just occurred. This just occurred to me the other day. And I know the sequels don't work.
They suck.
They suck.
Abomination.
What about this?
Robert Shaw would be rolling around in his grave, and he wasn't even dead yet when the sequels came out. Come on.
Right? But what about this? And this occurred to me the other day. They could do a really good prequel. And not a prequel to the story, but just centering on the character of Quint and telling the story of the mission of the USS Indianapolis, and showing, obviously you cast someone young as Quint, and you could do a really good history, because I mean, I know that there have been movies, The Mission of the Shark, right? But I still think there needs to be a really good big budget adaptation of what happened, because it's such a fascinating story with them delivering the bomb and then getting torpedoed and ended up in shark infested waters. They could do that movie. Yes. I'd pay to see that. Yeah. I'd pay.
Yeah, no, for sure. That would be incredible storyline. I mean, a standalone, just, I would do it separate, not even reference Jaws, and just have people like in our generation try to figure it out.
It's a beautiful, yeah. Maybe have it that you don't. They just tell the story, and you don't know this character's name, right until the end. And then when you've learned his name, you're like, oh my God, this is fucking Quint. This is the story of Quint. And you get, and so you're right. So for people that haven't seen the original, like for the new generation, it's just a great film. But for us, it's this wonderful little Easter egg that links it, puts that thread between. Yeah, fuck, that's a great idea. Great idea. Oh my God.
See, now whoever watches this episode that's involved, in the major studios, we said it here first. So if you assholes start making this movie, we get our cut.
Yeah, royalties. And
that's right.
Yeah, because we're gonna.
It's recorded.
Yeah, because how about this? Like, if they do it and we don't get any money, we're gonna go around there and gonna bust them up. We're gonna make them hurt real bad, right? Yeah,
like that, man.
Bam, like, give them a left and a right.
Exactly. The other franchise that was just as much of an abomination, but you know what? You got to give them credit for that was in the shark realm. Sharknado. The Sharknado franchise. I mean, come on. You can't get classier than that. I mean, Jaws, the original Jaws, would be sitting back in his little, swimming in his little tide pool going, fuck, that's pretty entertaining. There you go. Okay.
I don't know if this is a travesty or not, but I have never seen one of them. I've never seen.
Neither have I. I wouldn't even waste my time. I saw the thumbnail when it was coming on, cable television, stuff like that. I don't even know if it got a theatrical release, but I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Sharknado? Who comes up with this crap? But it made money. It made money.
It made money, but like what you said, who comes up with the idea of a fucking tornado or whatever it is with sharks in it? Like oh my God, somebody was really smoking something that day, right? That was like,
and they weren't sharing with the rest of the class.
Exactly. You can almost see it, right? Dude, I got this idea for a movie, man. What about sharks, but they're flying? Yeah, we'll put them in a tornado. That's Oh my God. But you know what? Listen, yeah, look at you. Yeah. Smoke and be mellow. There's a good fellow. But yeah, the other big, moving on, the other big anniversary, and I know this one touches your heart as much as it touches mine. Fright Night turned 40 years old. 40 years old, buddy.
Oh my God.
Where did the fucking time go?
So 50 for Jaws, and then 40 for Fright Night.
For Fright Night. Fright Night. But what a beautiful,
loved it.
What a beautiful film. And I mean, we talked about this one a little bit on our vampire show, but it's, again, it's one of those films where there's literally no slackers in the cast. Everybody brings their A game, and it's beautifully anchored by Chris Sarandon and Roddy McDowall, right? That just the two perfect. That's your Van Helsing and Dracula for the 80s. You know what I mean? The perfect Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you ever see the sequel? Did you ever see Fright Night 2?
Yes, I did. It was okay, but it wasn't until 2011 when Tom Holland, not Spider-Man Tom Holland, but the original Tom Holland, the writer-director, who actually did a remake of Fright Night, but set in Vegas, and it was beautifully done. And you had Colin Farrell.
Right? Yep.
Mm-hmm. But our beloved Chris Sarandon did a little cameo.
Did a cameo in there, right? Did a cameo. Yeah, that wasn't as remakes go, that wasn't a bad one. I guess it's a little sad now because that was Anton Yelchin, right? Who passed away. Yes. He was the Charlie Brewster. It's sad when it's always sad when you lose an actor, but losing someone like that young, who was literally his career was just really starting to hit that heavy ramp upwards to the stratosphere, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was shortly after that tragic accident happened, and that really, I think, I mean, there were a lot of unfortunate deaths in entertainment, but I think at that time, his death because it was such a freakish accident, really hit the entertainment industry hard because, like you said, his star was on the rise and he was a phenomenal young actor.
He was great. He was great. Yeah. But going back to the original for a second, going back to the original
Yes.
Fright Night, just that I'm not a big fan of too much humor in horror movies. Like sometimes I feel like they overdo it. That was a perfect blend of fun and scares, right? Like it was just like pure undiluted awesomeness from beginning to end, you know. And the effects, because I mean we're like the Fangoria generation, right? We're the kids that were the teenagers that were reading Fangoria every month, and we knew everything that there was to know about what was going on in effects and stuff, because it was laid out on the page for you. You understood prosthetics, animatronics, all this stuff. And that movie, like the effects in that, there's a couple of bits obviously that are very, like when Ed turns into the werewolf as he goes off the it's a little cheesy, right?
The banister,
okay, somebody just threw a fake dog off the thing, right? Like
I know. And you saw the string pulling the dog across the floor. It's like, dude, fishing line, really? And you could see it was bent on the dog, and it's like,
right.
And some guys behind the scenes going, "Come on, here you go! Whoa, I got myself a marlin."
Fuck. But outside of that, I mean, some of those effects really are like, I mean, the makeups for like the vampires of Dandridge when he's like in, and Ed, when Evil Eddie's kind of trapped in that, once he gets the crucifix on the head, he kind of becomes almost stuck in that, like he can't quite morph back to completely human, and he's a bizarre looking creature, and he was a good character as well. But just
brilliant character.
Yeah, brilliant.
No, brilliant film. Who does not love Evil Ed? Honestly, he was such an endearing character.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster. I can't stand it. No, beautiful film. No, Jaws and Jaws and Fright Night, 2 great anniversaries. Chef's Kiss, absolutely beautiful. So moving on, because we want to talk about a couple of movies that we've seen recently. I know you got one you want to talk about. I want to jump into, because you mentioned I Know What You Did Last Summer. I saw
and 28 years later.
And 20, I think actually 28 years later. Let's hold off on that one. Let's do a complete. Remember we were talking about doing a zombie show?
Oh, that's
Yes.
Because
there's way too much to dissect in that, because that was another level. But I Know What You Did Last Summer. Did you get and see the new version? Did you see it?
No.
I wouldn't. No, it's all right, mate. Calm down. You're good. It's not good. It really isn't. You know, like listen. I honestly wanted to love it because I love the original. You know, obviously, I've got a massive crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like, so the fact that she was back in it, I was like, okay, I'm on board. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, gorgeous, lovely woman. But I don't know. Here's my problems. So, the original I Know What You Did Last Summer came in the wake of Scream, right? It was one of those, Scream reignited the whole subgenre of the teens being chased by a slasher, and everybody started jumping on the bandwagon. And I Know What You Did Last Summer was one of the first ones out the gate. And I actually like it. I like it a lot. To this day, I think it was essentially a tale well told. It's got, it comes from a young adult novel, so it had like a literary source to begin with. But here's the thing. I think it's a franchise that was never meant to be a franchise. I think it was should have been just a beautiful one and done. Because I mean, they did a sequel. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, I think it was called. I've only ever watched it once. It was not good. But when you look at Scream, Scream 2 is arguably better than Scream 1. And they just kept like reinventing themselves as they went. They keep it fresh every. I know what you did last summer. It's kids that have committed an unforgivable crime trying to outrun their fate, right?
Yeah.
And you know, each of the characters in the original they operate in a way that I'm not condoning hitting someone on a highway and hiding the body or anything like that. I'm not condoning that. But what I'm saying is,
at least do it right if you're going to do it.
Exactly, right? Make sure you hide it properly, right? Don't get caught. But what I am going to say is this. From the perspective of the characters in the movie, you understand why they do what they do, and you understand why they're operating the way they are, right? Ryan Phillippe's character is drunk. He wasn't driving, but you can understand him saying, dude, it's my car. They're not going to believe I wasn't driving. I'm going to get the fucking electric chair for this, right? So it makes sense. This one, bro, this is the worst part right out of the gate. They don't have the whole. They're basically remaking. They're following the beats of the original movie. But this time, what happens is they're in the middle of the road, and a car comes around the corner and swerves and goes through the barriers. Which, all right, fair enough. But it's hanging off the cliff. But this is the thing: they go over and they try to help, and they're holding onto the car and they're trying to get the person out. So I'm thinking, well, hang on, they're actually like trying to help the person. Like they're not acting untoward. And obviously they don't succeed. The car goes over the cliff. But then it's like, okay, let's go to the police. But the one guy doesn't go to the police and he just takes them home. And you're sitting there like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. They haven't done anything wrong. They would have gone to the police. And it's almost like they try to twist it into this. That's going to be the thrust of the story now. This is the crime. Well, there was no crime. You didn't cause it, and you tried to save the person. Right? And then from that point on, it just goes into, like, you get the one character that starts acting douchey the way that, this is supposed to be the Ryan Philippe character. But where you understood Ryan Phillippe's character, he was an alcoholic, he was a young alcoholic, and he was, he basically, he was under the influence. This guy just starts acting douchey for no reason. And you're just like, all right, you're just acting douchey because it's in the script. Let's make this guy like the Ryan Philippe character. Yeah. And they're so forgettable. I hate saying that because it's young actors, but there's just nothing. I watched the movie, maybe 3 weeks ago. I can't remember any of the characters other than Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. from the original. They're the only ones. And I remember them because I remember obviously I remember Jennifer Love Hewitt because I remember Jennifer Love Hewitt, but I remember Freddie Prinze Jr. because he's back playing Ray from the original film, right? But it's weak. It's weak. I don't recommend it.
Let me ask you this. When I saw the trailer and I heard that it was, wrapping up, I remember when we were talking about it was being made and all that fun stuff. I mean, both of us really thought, is this really necessary? Honestly, is this really necessary? Yeah. Just like you with some of the franchises, you're like, it should be one and done. There was no need for a franchise. So my question to you is, really, what did you expect? And now I know you regretted paying money to see the theater, but we also agree that a lot of these, seriously, people are running out of fresh ideas, and it's a cash grab. It's seriously just a cash grab. So, I mean, honestly, with what we were talking about previously in other episodes and personally together, what did you expect?
Are you saying it's my fault? Is that what you're saying? Like,
wait, just like the guy from the History Channel for Ancient Aliens? Me? I'm not saying it was your fault, but it was your fault and aliens.
Oh my God. Here, I can sum it up. I can sum it up for you really good. The original film, I Know What You Did Last Summer, was about some kids who are trying to who commit an unforgivable crime, and they're paying the price for their sins. This movie was an unforgivable crime for people paying the price of the fucking ticket. Dude, I'm telling you, like legitimately, right? And as far as Gump famously said, that's all I really have to say about that.
And you know what? We might not be smart men, but we know what cash grabs are.
So anyway, that's that's it. That's all I got to say on for it on I Know What We Did Last Summer. You were telling me you watched the new film. What was the one you watched, Jay?
Yeah. Yes, actually, it was a movie called Apartment 7A. And I saw the trailer. I'm like, all right, this looks pretty cool. So started watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so reminiscent of the late 60s, early 70s, satanic occult movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was watching it further, and I think I messaged you shortly thereafter, I said, holy shit, this is really reminiscent of Rosemary's Baby. So I texted you, and I'm like, oh, you got to watch this, brother. It's really good. It's reminiscent of the cult, blah, 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 and Rosemary's Baby. And this is one of the many things I love about you, bro. And why, I'm glad that we do this, and you're more the straight man. You're the Abbott to my Costello, even though Costello was the Goyim and Abbott was the Jew. It doesn't matter. But you're the Abbott to my Costello. And you're like, I can almost see the look on your face. You're like, yeah, it's a prequel to Rosemary's Baby. Duh.
Sorry, dude. I wasn't being smart.
I Googled it. I'm like, holy fuck. It's a prequel. No wonder it was reminiscent of Rosemary's Baby.
and even though that was what caught my attention when I saw it on, I think is it on Paramount? I think is it?
Yeah, Paramount Plus.
Right.
Yes.
So I caught it on Paramount, and I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't seen it yet. So what's it like? Give me the skinny, man. Is it good?
It's wonderfully done. Wonderfully done. Very respectful homage to Roman Polanski's original. It really is. And Diane Wiest, who we remember was the mom in Lost Boys, phenomenal actress, lover.
Yep.
She did such an amazing job of embodying Ruth Gordon's character in the original Rosemary's Baby as Minnie. Phenomenal job. Ooh. Loved it. Ooh, it was incredible. And after seeing Apartment 7A, I'm like, I got to watch the original because it's on Paramount Plus as well. So guess what I did last night?
You watched Rosemary's Baby, did you?
I watched the original.
Nice.
And I was like, beautiful, beautiful, beautifully done. Again, very much in tune with that era. Mm-hmm. And the exploration of Satanism, the occult, and all of that stuff meshed in, which again set the precedent because that was 1968. It literally set the precedent for, I don't know if it was a blockbuster per se, but it was a major release in the theaters, got a lot of press, a lot of marketing, and really set Roman Polanski on his rising star of being one of the most prolific directors of that era as well. It just had such incredible flavor. And I'm watching it because, again, I was only a year old when it was originally released, but I remember seeing glimpses of it, and I think I watched it in its entirety when I was younger. I can't remember. Again, I can't even remember what I did this summer, let alone what I did last summer. And I don't even remember watching Rosemary's Baby in its entirety. See how I kind of tied that back in? I kind of
Oh yeah. You did that very, very expertly there, very expertly.
But
you know what? Go on.
Oh, I was going to say Rosemary's Baby, the original, definitely stands the test of time. I literally could have gone my full freaking life without seeing a bunch of naked old people.
Yeah.
They never would have put that in. I could have lived my whole life without seeing particular part of the movie. I was like,
creepy for all the wrong reasons.
all the wrong reasons, but it was very wonderfully done. And I mean, there's some continuity errors. There's subtle inconsistencies there that I think the filmmakers of Apartment 7A really should have probably watched Rosemary's Baby a few times and say, okay, how are we going to tie this into it from the ending of the prequel to the beginning of Rosemary's Baby and have it truly 100% tie in and fit together.
I think that's
all.
No, I think that is, and it's funny because I was going to ask you. That was actually one of the questions I was going to ask you. I was going to say, what's the through line? Is there a good through line between this one and Rosemary's Baby? Because I find that that's the big problem with prequels. You get that a lot where they're kind of, a prequel by definition is already hamstrung by the fact that we know what happens down the road.
Yeah.
So they struggle sometimes to find ways, okay, how do we keep the audience off base a little bit? And sometimes that's where you get these continuity errors that come up. And those of us that are so familiar with them, we can't help looking and say, it's one of the reasons I couldn't watch Bates Motel, the TV show. I couldn't watch it because to me, I'm just like, no, you're setting this before Psycho. And we know, like this, they just, to me, it's just like, no. This is not going to link up. And obviously it didn't link up because they started bringing in, I think, like Janet Leigh's character, Marion Crane and stuff like that. I'm just like, no, yeah. So, but anyway, but that's what I was going to ask you about the, and I need to, you know what? I need to watch Rosemary's, but it's been a lot of years since I've given that a viewing.
Yeah.
So, but outside of the continuity errors, like, so you said it's atmospheric,
very atmospheric, very much again a beautiful homage to what Roman Polanski wrote and directed, based on the Ira. And again, this was based on Ira Levin's novel Rosemary's Baby. So literary source, and so Apartment 7A did a wonderful job of really honoring Rosemary's Baby. And I thought it was wonderfully done. The cinematography, the storyline, the acting, the buildup of the tension to what will happen to the main character. Everything about it I thoroughly enjoyed and highly recommend. I really do.
You made a very interesting observation there as well, which I want to pick up on, and that is that where you were saying that it plays in that sandbox of the whole satanic panic, movies of the late 60s and especially the early 70s.
Yes.
Let's actually take a look at some of those. I mean, there was so The Exorcist, The Omens obviously springs to mind. That one, did you ever see that one? What was that one with Peter Fonda where they're in the camper and they stumble across? Race with the Devil. Race with the Devil.
Yes. Well, let's not forget Wicker Man.
Wicker Man, oh God, that's another bona fide classic right there. The Wicker Man, there's a bunch of, and then there's that one with Ernest Borgnine and William Shatner. What was that? It was The Devil's Reign. Remember that? And at the end, they all start Ernest Borgnine actually does a really good job of playing like a sinister, like he's kind of like the head of the cult or whatever. And at the end, they're all out in the rain and they all start melting. Do you remember that? Like the rain comes down and they all start dissolving, the characters. Do you remember that one? Did you ever see that?
No, I don't believe I have. I can't believe it because I love Ernest Borgnine and of course I love William Shatner.
Oh, who doesn't love William Shatner?
Yeah.
William
make it a point to watch that movie. I forgot that he actually made that movie. I will set a course of action to watch that movie.
Jay, why are you making fun of William Shatner? Fuck, we're both going down the same. I feel bad because I love Shatner.
Because he's such an iconic character and actor. He's such a mensch. How can you not want to be like William Shatner.
You know what? You made me think of something. This has stuck with me for years. I had a dream once, right? Like, fuck, this is really bad. This is funny. I had a dream where I don't know whether it was TJ Hooker or something, but I was on the set of some show, and in my dream, William Shatner did one of his like the guy's actually like, first of all, I want to be sure I'm not making fun here. I actually think William Shatner's a really good actor. He's done a lot of great stuff. The Nuremberg trial springs to mind. You know, like, he's actually a phenomenal actor, but he just has that interesting delivery, right? So back to the dream.
Yeah.
So in the dream, I'm on this set of TJ Hooker or something like that, and he does a scene, and he doesn't perform it too well. And I remember one of the crew says to me, like, "Oh, that wasn't a great performance, was it?" And I'm like, "Well, that's why he's named Shatner, like, because Shat means shit, right?" And I'm like, "That's why he's named Shatner." And in the dream, William Shatner heard me and turned around and, like, started giving me fucking shit, like, for taking the piss out of it. Like, it was a nightmare where I woke up thinking, "Oh my God, I fucking pissed off Captain Kirk in my sleep." Like, what the hell did I? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, remember when I interviewed him at Comic-Con?
Yes.
More than several years ago. He was a wonderful human being. He really is. He does have that back east, sense of humor, that sarcasm, but he was really giving of the fans. He loves the fans. He truly does. And in regards to what you say about him being an accomplished actor, he is. And him and I discussed, because I was the only one to bring up that Star Trek was really a trailblazing show. It truly was.
Big time.
But he got his start beforehand with other shows that were really, really setting the pace of what intellectual and thought-provoking television in the sci-fi realm should be, and that was Twilight Zone.
Right.
And I asked him, how was it to be a part of two revolutionary, groundbreaking shows? If you watch those Twilight episodes that he was in, he's an incredible actor. He truly is. And he knows how to really capture the scene and be captivating.
I actually now the Twilight Zone episodes. So, like, I don't know if he was in more. I can think of two. The ones that spring to my mind are, we got the one, what was the 37,000 feet, where he's he's looking out the window. He sees
Terror at 20,000 feet or something.
Where he's looking, there's a creature out on the wing, and they remade that with Robert Lithgow in the Twilight Zone
for the movie.
For the movie. And the other one I remember seeing him is the one where him and his girlfriend, they break down in the town and they go in the cafe, and there's that little devil fortune thing where you pull the thing and you get a fortune.
That was the fortune telling machine.
Yeah. That, which was another. But was he in any others, or was it just those two? Because that's the only two I can think of. But they were both classics, both classic episodes.
Those are the only ones I can remember too. But I think he made a couple more appearances. The funny thing is, as well, Leonard Nimoy was in a couple of Twilight Zone episodes, as well as I think one with DeForest Kelley, who played Bones.
Right.
So you have three alumni from Twilight Zone that made it to Star Trek.
When I think Leonard Nimoy and anthology shows, I think of, he was in that episode of The Outer Limits. Remember the one with the robot, where the robot's on trial, which basically is it's from Isaac Asimov's iRobot, right? They did like a Twilight Outer Limits episode on that. That's interesting. No. Getting back to Shatner. I listen, all jokes aside, I think the guy's phenomenal. And, like, quite frankly, I mean, I don't know how you feel, but Star Trek, the original series, I mean, I love all of them, the Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, all the whatever. But I can't live without the original. Like, it's comfort food for me. Like, if I'm sad or depressed or whatever, I'll throw on an episode of the original Star Trek, and it feels like they did it so, it almost feels like being with old friends. The performances are so right. I listen, I know we've heard the stories that not everything was hunky-dory on set and everything, but in the context of watching the show, you really feel that relationship between, especially between Spock, Kirk, and McCoy, right? It's like that little family kind of, yeah, fuck man, Star Trek, right? Hey, how do you feel about doing a show on Star Trek one day? Like,
because it was, brilliant writing. The social political commentary wasn't, beating you over the head, but it was kind of in your face. And it spoke eloquently to it in the humanistic fashion. And that's one thing that set Twilight Zone apart as well, because it literally was a commentary of on humanity.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I loved about Rod Serling, who was one of my most endearing influences when it came to, when I was writing, as well as, kind of, on camera presence too. I just admired him and respected him so much. And, he was a paratrooper in the Second World War.
I didn't know that.
He was a paratrooper in the Second World War, saw humanity at its worst. And, he was a fellow Jew as well, and knew what happened in the Holocaust. And that added a lot to the commentary of his writings, as well as the writings of the the other writers. Richard Mathis, who I believe Richard Mathis, he wrote
Richard Matheson, I Am Legend.
Matheson, thank you. Yes, I Am Legend.
Yeah.
So, they both took their understanding of the human condition and history and wrote those into the scripts.
Right. I mean, let's be honest. The guy was a genius. He was a fucking genius. I mean, when I think Rod Serling, I mean, obviously we all automatically go to the Twilight Zone. Of course, you can't not, right? But
yes,
the man wrote one I personally think is the greatest movie twist and the greatest ending to a movie ever, Planet of the Apes. That was Rod Serling, right? And
yes, it was. Yes.
Tell me a better twist than following Charlton Heston through this story, thinking he's on an alien planet, blah, 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 blah. And then oh God, I get goosebumps just at the end when he just finds the Statue of Liberty and the penny drops. He's been on Earth and he's thousands of years in the future and we fucking wiped us out. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, but like absolute, like I literally just thinking of Charlton Heston. Damn you. Like smack him.
You blew it all to hell.
You blew
Damn
it all.
you.
You did it. Yeah, like God, man.
Yeah.
And we talk about our childhoods and things that had like indelible effects on us. Like that just absolutely, completely rocked my fucking world. Like to this day.
Yeah. And they didn't even use all of Rod Serling's script because he was trying to stay true to the original story, the novel.
Pierre Boulez's novel, yeah.
They didn't. Yeah, and they should have, because again, he was such a brilliant writer. And I found in this one comic book shop the original illustrated book of Planet of the Apes that he wrote.
I actually have it's not mine. My buddy Bill lent it to me. I've got it in my. I need to read it. I've never. I know that there's actually more like a almost like a technological society, I think, with the apes and the bunkers.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Did you see do you remember the cartoon show? They did a cartoon show. It was called Return to the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
And that actually kind of follows those ideas, because in the cartoon they had jeeps and things, and there was a city that had like sort of skyscraper type buildings. So they were kind of drawing off of that Pierre Boulez's. You know what? Because we're coming up on time and we're in such deep territory now. I'm going to throw something out there. Why don't we do a show and just talk about the entire Planet of the Apes series? Let's just go through all of it, because I mean they're great movies, right? I say we do that. Yeah. Maybe not the next show, but we'll definitely do that soon. So, Jay, I've missed this, man. It's been fresh. I've really enjoyed it. So
Same here.
Hey,
And I believe our iScreemers finally appreciate us coming back again from 28 years later.
From 20, yeah, we're going to talk zombies. But you know what just occurred to me? I haven't heard you say a particular thing to our audience in a while. So,
oh my God, that's great.
So,
how can I deprive iScreemers of that?
So I'm going to say goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you soon. And Jay's going to tell you to
keep screaming.
Good night and God bless. We love you, iScreemers. Take care. Peace out.
Love ya.